Did you know that the first Grand of the was a Freemason? We're going to discuss Freemasonry and their connections with the. That's next on the hyperlink. So before we start this, let's just go ahead and get this right out of the way. I do not condone any behavior of this. The organization that I'm going to talk about is absolutely horrible, awful, terrible people. And in this post, I'm only sharing American history. You can take a look at every bit of it yourself. But as a follower of Jesus Christ and an ex-Freemason, things like this really influenced me to step away. But I'm going to share the real history of the Freemasons and their connections to some of the most awful groups on the planet, just so that if you're thinking about joining this fraternity, that you keep this in mind before you make that decision. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Nathan Bedford Forrest. Yeah, this guy right here. He was a Confederate general and the first of the organization I just talked about. He was made a Freemason prior to the Civil War, then rose in ranks to be one of the top Confederate generals. And then after the Civil War, him and 6 other Confederate generals started the organization I was just talking about. And he was elected their first leader. Oh, by the way, any Confederate is a traitor to the United States of America. There's nothing about this that should be celebrated. This guy right here has the blood of U.S. citizens and U.S. soldiers on his hands, in addition to being the member of the pointy white-robed hat club. This guy right here, Albert Pike, he was a 33rd degree Freemason and is known as the godfather of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. His book Morals and Dogma was basically the basis of Southern jurisdiction Scottish Rite Freemasonry. So being another traitor and Confederate general himself, he was friends with Nathan Bedford Forrest, and he became the Chief Justice of that organization I've been talking about, horrible people, as well. And at the same time, he was the sovereign Grand Commander of the Scottish Rite Freemasons. Even monsters have a limit, I guess. So in 1889, this guy right here, he disbanded the organization I was talking about because he said it was becoming too violent. Now we fast forward about 20 years. Movies started to be made. There was a movie called Rebirth of a Nation, and this romantically portrayed a lot of these pointy-headed, monster people. It was just pure awful propaganda. But this guy right here, William Joseph Simmons, he really latched onto this and started up the organization all over again. And by the 1920s and 30s, many of this organization's meetings were held in Masonic lodges. Masonry in this organization had basically weaved itself together. The recruitment was almost exclusively from Freemasons, and hate spread all around the country. But by the 1940s and at the beginning of World War II, the violence that this organization put out was just unacceptable to the rest of America, which is great. Finally, they woke up and forced basically this organization to disband and a lot of the members to disassociate themselves with it. But membership in the Masonic lodges by those same people kept on going. As a former Freemason, I was told that Freemasons walk on the backs of giants, meaning that their tradition, their values are passed from one generation to the next generation to the next generation. And once you become an entered apprentice Freemason, you're a brother. You're a part of a fraternity or a family of brothers. So do you want to be a part of a fraternity that, calls this guy here brother? Or this guy brother? Or this guy? And if you're a Freemason of color, this is the history of the organization that you joined. It doesn't matter really what color you are, but, this stuff is just, it's hidden from you because they don't want to talk about this. Those people are monsters. They don't deserve to be your brother. Don't do this. Whatever you're looking for in this organization, you're not going to find. Why? Because it's like drinking salt water. You're going to keep on searching and just keep on getting thirstier and thirstier. If you believe in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, then really you wouldn't be considering this. But if you really, really want to go down this, rabbit hole, don't find a good church, find a good group of guys to hang out with at the church, because really what they're doing is offering a false alternative to a community that's already out there without, these monsters. God bless you. If you like more of this content, please hit that follow button over there. We're going to keep on exposing the darkness in this world. God bless you.